extremely important to understand that we cannot put a premium on any one minhag or the value of any one minhag. We can't say, well, this is really important, but this is not so important. If it's a minhag, then it's a minhag. Then it's a minhag, a tradition is treated like a law. The laws of Tahara are minhagim. They're all traditions, okay? And we treat each one as a din, as our set of laws which we follow, unless the law says it has to be done differently in this situation. But otherwise, every tradition has equal importance. We sometimes get to a few of them. We use egg and vinegar. Okay, it's a mixture that we make. Not every Kadisha uses it. We have rules. If someone gets there and somehow, as they're taking the egg, it drops. Now there's no egg. Okay, we'll send someone out to buy an egg. Okay, there's a Chevra there. We'll send the Chevra out to buy an egg. Thank God there are bodegas that are open 24 hours a day now. There are, stores that are open 24 hours a day. Whether it's the gas station that has a dozen eggs, whatever it might be, you pick up an egg. Okay, and the same is true for vinegar. And the same is true if you have no Israel earth. If someone in the Chevra may have some in their supplies, or another Chevra, do whatever you can to make sure that you are supplied, and that if not, that you try to get what is necessary. Important to understand that we are not trying to establish minhagim here. We're not saying this is the way it should be done or must be done. It is important that the minhagim, the traditions that you follow, are bona fide traditions. Sometimes there is networking that goes on among Chevra's Kadisha. And sometimes some very serious mistakes could creep into a Chevra's set of rules because someone came up with a brilliant idea that we can wash the body with a hose. But that's not the way a body is supposed to be washed. Just using that as an example. Okay? Or we can place the gartel in the aron, and when we put the body into the aron, the gartel is right there. We don't have to turn the body, get it under, or slip it, or do what we have to do. It's right there. So you put the gartel in, lay it out over the casket, and you put the body in. It's a great idea. That's not what we do. It's not the tradition that we follow. Each Chevra is meant to dress the person fully, just as the Kohen got dressed fully. And that's what we need to understand. So there are sometimes, because someone has a great idea, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's an appropriate efficiency. So all of those things are extremely important to remember. But certainly the goal here is not to establish specific minhagim. I've said this many times. People ask me why I've never written a book. I've done more difficult things. I could have written a book. I could have had someone else write the book. I just never wanted that there should be a set of minhagim. This is what Rabbi Zone says is the right thing to do. Because I lecture all over the country, I don't want that. But I do reserve the right to say that this is a minhag that I am familiar with, or a minhag that I feel is appropriate. There are many, many different traditions that we don't follow, that others do follow, that are appropriate. But the point is there are traditions that are appropriate traditions, and there are some that may not be.